Let me know. Nicely done.
Timeline discrepancy detected. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Nice.
Time.
Very funny. If you were Edna, you would have stabbed me in the throat halfway through the second word of my first question.
Oh, this poor fella's lost his wits.
I'm getting old, damn it. And after a while, anything that isn't a plant gets hard to distinguish from anything that is. But no, you don't look like Edna. Though you do smell a bit like her, like blood and starship grease. You must be that freelance inspector. Well, I suppose you can poke around as you like. Bleeding hell. Standing up like this makes a body forget how stiff he gets, bent over plants all day. Oh, seems I'm not as young as I feel. Indeed. Tromped in and out of the conservatory with no heed for anyone else. Good thing none of my charges were damaged. Starlet or not, I would have had a harsh word for her. I heard she pushed her way into a tour of the RR&DD labs not soon after. She's just a serial actress. Yet she acts like she's deserved of the same access as a co-CEO. Well, she's not going anywhere ever again. Which is a shame, of course. Taken too soon and all.
Timeline discrepancy detected. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as... Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis. This discarded canister is typical of the R-mounted storage tanks on the orchard's agricultural mechanicals. However, it is not currently attached to a mechanical. This canister contains a high amount of vinegar in addition to water. Warning. Use of vinegar, a known herbicide, on purpleberry saplings is a violation. Chemical makeup of substance. 50% water, 50% vinegar. Trace amounts of woolly cow feces also detected. These canisters can typically be found in the nursery storage building in the purpleberry orchards, except for this one, which can be found here. timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This cause of shortout is most likely related to purple residue splattered all across the keyboard.
So how's it taste? Wait, let me guess. Purple berry.
Substance contains trace amounts of purple berries, fruit flavors, and artificial sweeteners number 35, number 49, number 240, number 322, number 314, and many, many, many others.
I think it's more of a wonder that nothing in these law-forsaken orchards has managed to kill them.
How's the investigation going? You got a complete report for me yet? All right, let's... A drink? I ain't ever heard of no saboteur dumping drinks all over equipment to destroy it. I hate to say it, but that sounds more like worker carelessness.
How many times do I have to tell you this, old man? Slug isn't behind your problems. Slug wouldn't even need to cause you problems. Your own workers do enough.
Ha! Knew Slug was behind the damn sabotage.
Please. We're subtle, but that's too subtle. If we wanted to destroy your saplings, you'd have known them by the blackened remnants of their stems, not some half-assed poisoning.
Huh. You didn't destroy any of them? Reckon I would have lost that bet. Thanks.
One less expense for you to explain to your bosses, Hathaway. Lucky you.
So what were the fine details of the sabotage anyhow? Were Slug's lackeys trying to get the mechanicals to kill all our waspitos? Of course. And what better way to do that than by targeting our pollinizers? They'd be a hell of a pain to kill manually. But if you set the mechanicals to do it...
In your delusional fantasy, the waspitos wouldn't be out until next pollinization cycle. Wouldn't someone notice the rampant mechanicals beforehand?
That seems like a question you should be asking yourself. Well, yes, it's possible to manually start and end cycles in Hive Control, but we keep a careful watch on it. And there have been no non-Rizzo's personnel in or out.
Stop wasting everyone's time, Hathaway. What you're proposing is infinitely less likely than an idiot maneuver by one of your incompetent workers. I won't hear any further slander. Let's go through this one final time so even you can't confuse it, Hathaway. Slug didn't do a damn thing to your orchards. You're chasing ghosts.
Talk about ghosts all you like, but someone was screwing with my orchards. If it wasn't Slug, then who the hell was it? You picked a hell of a time to lose your tongue over there, friend. I guess I can't force you to tell me anything. But the peace of mind would have been worth much to me. Right now, we of the orchards have to settle things with Slug. I reckon that you're about as impartial a third party as we're gonna get. Can you mediate?
Ah, what the hell. The orchardist seems to get off on complicating what should be a simple deal, but at this point, I just want to be paid and go. The pollen in the air is agitating.
Hey, would you look at that? All of a sudden, I have an urge to just pay Slug. How about that?
Yes. And Slug will go back to making sure your shipments get safely to you. That's satisfactory, right, Inspector? Right?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Bits of wicker detected, embedded within the chunks of dark matter. Wicker is not a known ingredient of the dark matter product. The only members of a tossball team strong enough to crack a stick in two are the dedicated hackers, like Black Hole Birdie. Whatever Ms. Ruth Bellamy must have relayed to the tossball hacker during their picnic together instigated a furious increase in his usual strength threshold by 52%.
I seen Birdie snap a tossball stick in half before. It happened right after the... That's the last of them!
I can hear you out there. If you still possess the majority of your mental capacities, please locate the test room through the lobby and to the left. You'll see me through the glass. How in the Aether did you get in here? You're not a Rizzo's authorized. Oh, void it all. What does it even matter now? What do you want? Speak up and quickly if you will. It has indeed. While I doubt you've come to speculate on the lab's present condition, and I must question how you've gained possession of a restricted access card to this facility in the first place, I haven't seen a normal face in days, so I'll get to the more pressing matter at hand. You see, I've found myself in a bit of a pickle. Some of my lab techs have turned rather aggressive following a recent experiment gone awry. Hence why I've barricaded myself in the lab. Yes. I suppose I should make myself useful. Let me think. Ah, I know. I can remotely unlock the supply closets in the lower levels of the lab. Perhaps you'll find some useful apparatus or two in them. And lose my life's work? You want me to just burn my lab and my entire future to the ground over one experiment that's gotten rather out of hand? No, I think not. We merely need to clean up the mess, so to speak. Reset the lab back to functional parameters.
Clean up? They were human beings. Don't you care about them at all?
Staff can be replaced, you know. Research data? Now that's invaluable. Excellent. You have my gratitude, and soon you'll have my knowledge of Miss Bellamy's recent visit as well. Now, if you'd rather not kill my lab techs during this cleanup, I believe you can dispense a sedative gas from a terminal in the utility room.
These people don't deserve to die, Captain. Let's try using the sedative.
The door to the lower labs is sealed.
Another corporate lab, another dead lab coat. Was fun!
Look at all that Rizzo. It's like something out of my nightmare.
Earth could have helped a lot of people with all the good things going on this place.
Just who in the... Oh my law. You... Wait. What do you think you're...
What was that? Boss, we gotta move. Dr. Blossom was a horrible person, but she was gonna cooperate with you.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Confirmation of discrepancy confirmed. This person is most definitely dead. But recently, they were still alive.
What an awful place to die.
I don't get it. If the killer's some type of dissident, they'd want to make a bloody mess. Set an example. Maybe these lab coats weren't the real target.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already scanned.
What kind of monster kills all these people over a data cartridge?
Body heat readings indicate that the culprit was just here, mere moments earlier in the timeline.
Looks like a standard ventilation shaft to me. Somebody around my size could have crawled in. Wouldn't have been comfortable or, clean. Ventilation shafts usually turn into sprat nests. See that red wire? Whoever cut that wire was trying to disrupt the circuit. They could have sealed the lab doors temporarily. At least until the failsafes kicked in.
Attention all personnel. Unscheduled pollinization cycle is about to commence. Please evacuate the orchards at this time. Releasing the mosquitoes for pollinization. Cycle is now in progress.
What is that sound? And why am I sure we're about to find out? Oh, hey! Are those wasp-keto hives? Don't worry, I'll keep my distance.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Tool is comprised of 99% plastic, 0.5% steel, and 0.5% carbonated sugary beverage. Trace amounts of kerosene, alcohol, hydrazine, and liquid hydrogen also detected.
What did you find, Cap?
Yeah, I figured those wasp-ketos didn't escape by accident. Or maybe they were close to somebody who was a Slug employee.
Voam. Red.
Hey, I've been ready to confront that guy. I was just gonna wait until he really embarrassed himself.
I do love all the wall space. So much room for trophies.
Oh, sweet gibbering law! Where'd you come from? Sorry, let me just get back in character. Whoa, 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 it's not what it looks like. Easy, friend. No need to get violent. There are as many reasons to spare my life as there are flavors in Rizzo's Spectrum Vodka. I'll give you 2 reasons. First, I am a valuable asset to the Rizzo's Rangers Tossball Enterprise. And secondly, I'm just here doing a job for a VIP. Mascot's honor. I am acting on behalf of Mr. Black Hole Birdie, the Holmeister, the Hack Attack. I don't have a lot of time, but Mr. Birdie sent me to retrieve a message. Something he recorded for Ms. Bellamy while he was off his kilter. You found the recording? Oh, well, that's just sweeter than a fistful of purple berry punch. Oh, law, Birdie's gonna slaughter me like a woolly cow. Will you meet me later, over at the pilot house? I swear, from the bottom of my employment contract, I will tell you everything I know about Ms. Bellamy's demise. What? But I can't? Please don't hurt me. I'm sorry. I can't. Not here. I'm sorry. The Pilot House Complex. Meet me there, and I'll tell you everything, I swear. The Pilot House Complex. Meet me there, and I'll tell you everything, I swear.
I understand there was an incident at the orchards. The pollination cycle began without my authorization. Fortunately, you managed to save most of the hive. The wasp-ketos are essential to the orchards, you see. Losing them would have cost us months of production. The orchards can be a dangerous place, but my workers understand the hazards. Something about this incident troubles me. The circumstances are suspicious. But let's concentrate on the matter at hand. Have you discovered anything? You have my attention. That's deeply upsetting. Dr. Leora Blossom was an extraordinary scientist and a friend. We have a murderer on the loose, Inspector. As if the death of Halcyon Helen wasn't enough of a blow to our facility. Her commitment to her NDA was admirable. I'll make sure to accelerate the payout of her death benefits to her next of kin. Interesting. The Rizzo's family is a small family, Inspector. Most of us recognize one another. Still, any information is good information. It troubles me to believe Leora could have been murdered by one of our own. If there's anything else you'd like to share, you have my attention. Insisted. That's interesting. We'd scheduled a tour of the lab for Helen. Purely a public relations event to be held sometime in the indeterminate future. Then again, Helen and I were not well acquainted. I can't speak to her intentions. A picnic? I don't recall approving a private social gathering at the orchards. I'll have to make a note of this information. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Was there anything else? This incident at the orchards must be connected to Helen's murder somehow. I don't know how, but I feel it in my marrow. My apologies, Inspector. This case is under your jurisdiction, not mine. I leave it in your hands. When you're ready, I suggest a word with the hotel coroner. She should have finished her autopsy by now. Why was there a suspicious-looking mascot in your... I don't know why there was a mascot in your room. The Grand Colonial doesn't offer that kind of room service. I think. Cedric has a security problem in this hotel, but your point is well taken. In any case, let me apologize for this unfortunate business. I'm sure this mascot meant no harm. Was there anything else?
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just finished my autopsy report. Oh, don't be so squeamish. You won't find any viscera under my fingernails. I trimmed them just this morning. Ruth Bellamy was killed by plasma damage to the upper vertebrae, the occipital bone, and the cerebellum. If it's any consolation, her death was instantaneous and painless. I've also discovered a poisonous compound in Miss Bellamy's stomach lining ingested during her last meal. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich complained of a stomach ailment around the same time period. I assumed he was being, Spencer. But now I'm not so sure. Oh, most certainly. Well, possibly they were trying to make her extremely uncomfortable, but I suppose killing her would also satisfy that criterion. The thought occurred to me. I tested this hypothesis by vacating the contents of my stomach and testing for the presence of the same toxin. Slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just the hotel food. Oh, how curious. I do believe you're right. I wonder if this has something to do with the autopsy process. She was Halcyon Helen up until the moment I brought her to the operating table. But as soon as I cut her open, I stopped thinking of her as Halcyon Helen. It's almost as if she stopped being an icon and became a human being. You're a freelancer of some repute. Surely you're no stranger to seeing the interior organs of a human being. Although, I suspect you do most of your work with a gun and not a scalpel.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector? I'd love to, Inspector. That's a good point. If they give me guff, I can just tell them that they're obstructing justice. That has a nice ring to it. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please.
What floor would you like to visit? If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get an autograph for me. Just joking. I've already got one.
We're the future of Sublight. Just you wait and see.
We're all seeing that woolly cow, right?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Multiple discrepancies detected. First discrepancy. A woolly cow is present in this hotel room. Woolly cows are an import species for the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve and are incapable of affording upper-class accommodations. Second discrepancy. This woolly cow is dangerously inebriated with Rizzo Spectrum vodka. Alcohol sanguinization ratio exceeds recommended max. Zero. A brief survey of this area reveals that the most recent occupants were athletes belonging to the Rizzo's Rangers Tossball Club. Insufficient data. A brief survey of localized property damage, divided by the area of this room, yields the following estimate. This unit was likely occupied by every member of the Rizzo's Rangers. -1.
Zeke Hannigan, Rizzo's Rangers 16th back. Pleased to meet you. What can I do for you? We sort of borrowed her from the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve while we were drunk. I have no idea how we managed to sneak her in here without being spotted. Don't worry, we'll return her safe and sound. Mostly sound. Hungover's still sound, right? Oh, you must be that inspector people have been talking about. It's a damn shame about Miss Helen. She was always real good to me and the rest of the Rangers. Birdie's taking it pretty hard. Miss Helen was the love of his life. So, what did you want to know? I'm ashamed to admit it, but me and a couple of the other Rangers spent the night in Constable Keen's cells down at the spaceport. We didn't do anything serious, just a bit of pranks and vandalism. It's what usually happens when we all get to drinking. Guess Constable Keen saw things a bit differently and had us hauled off. No, we lost him somewhere along the way. Or maybe he managed to get away? I can't rightly remember. But he was definitely not sharing a cell with us. That much I know. Oh, Brady was mad about Helen. He was certifiable. The big galoot loved Helen about as much as he loved the game. Trouble is, Birdie was not blessed with an abundance of temper. Helen kept Birdie steady. If he lost his temper around her, it'd be because something broke between the two of them. What? Law, no. Birdie's got a fierce temper, but there's no way he'd ever have laid a finger on Miss Helen. Miss Helen was outspoken. She made her share of enemies on account of her expressing herself. Just between you and me, I heard rumors the Prophet never much cared for Helen's brand of blunt honesty. What can I do for you? Since it's the off-season, we're helping support the launch of Rizzo Spectrum Brown. Meet the fans, sign tossball cards, that sort of thing. How about you, fella? You after a signature?
Nah, I think I'll pass.
He's just being coy. Anyway, where was I? Just between you and me, Rizzo's ought to cancel the whole event out of respect for Miss Helen.
hands, Cap.
Wow! How'd you do that?
Initiate Burbage 3001 is trained to recognize all board-approved actors. Greetings, fellow star. Your performance in Maverick Johnston's latest drama was memorable. Burbage 3001's programming is frequently upgraded to adhere to board-certified standards. The most recent upgrade was performed by Spencer Woolrich. Banter protocol exhausted, reverting to default behavior, grieving and despair. Oh, Halcyon Helen, may your atoms be commended to the Aether. Burbage 3001 was designed to disrupt Halcyon Helen's monopoly over the Aetherwave serial market. This unit's programming is based on Helen's most famous roles. Burbage 3001. Anything Halcyon Helen can do, this unit can do slightly worse. This unit has been programmed to simulate existential dread. Watch Burbage 3001 contemplate its mortality in the critically acclaimed drama, Waiting for Results. This unit has not yet completed its grief cycles, randomizing despair tables. Oh, Helen, is there no justice in the world?
Easy now.
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout. Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready? You've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. Oh, you wouldn't harm an old man at the end of his wits, would you? I'm confused, disoriented. I may have even soiled myself. Wait, if you're armed, That must mean you're not with the hotel staff. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. Who are you? And how did you get in here? And yet you found your way to my humble hotel room. Why do I feel there's more of a reason for you to be here than you let on? I think I know, you cheeky little sprat. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon? Your wallet? Or perhaps something a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard. Do you mean to say you're not a fan? Well, then how did you get in here? The only staffer cleared for guest room entry is the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh. Oh! Hello. Hi. Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in. You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me, back when I starred in the Marauder's Bane. The absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer.
1 second off.
Oh, have you now? Please do go on. I did indeed. With Halcyon Helen parading her fame about, I was left without an acting partner. Burbage is no exception. His acting protocols were nothing short of a joke. So, I decided to make some modifications, installing him with some of my old serial quotes, as I think improved his range. The way he bungled about with that weapon of his hardly befitted a dissident, so I modified it as well. He's much quicker on the draw now, though he's still a machine. I'm quite used to being breathlessly watched. Certainly. But one quick question before we begin, if I may. How was it that Bellamy met her end? How awful. Whoever did this must have been quite heartless. I was meditating, of course. That's how I get into character. Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather counterproductive to commune with others while meditating. All actors have their methods, and this has been mine ever since I met that wonderful prophet of profitability. She taught me it for my role in The Unemployed Cometh. I had to lie face down on artificially heated pavement. The director wanted our suffering to be convincing. Needless to say, being able to leave my body helped to mitigate the pain, both during the 8-hour shoot and with the second-degree burns afterwards. I owe that woman much. Yeah, actually, only since I've been at the Colonial. The Unemployed Cometh was shot on site. That makes it, a few weeks. I cannot recommend her services enough. If you haven't been to see her yet, you really should. I'll answer whatever you wish. Oh, come now, Inspector. What do you take me for? I'm an old man. I neither have the time nor the willpower to kill people for fun. Besides, I have my reputation to think of. Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my career. I should like to think I knew her. In fact, I cannot name a single role in the last 10 years that did not involve her in some way, unless you count the uncredited silent shopkeep on Melissa's Meteoroids. Oh, it wasn't. And don't think I haven't picked up on your tone. Resenting Bellamy is one thing, but killing her is another completely. It's also beneath me. I suppose that is enough on that grim subject. Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage of inadequate hotel meals, this was most explicitly pronounced. I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop. None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff equally, and with the minimum level of respect that they deserve. How alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly targeting me. I can... Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to incapacitate us both, disrupt the product launch. I couldn't say, Inspector. I'm merely an actor. Very well, then.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Discrepancy detected. This bottle, recently discarded. Chemical analysis complete. Oil. Terror. Yes, Inspector. Logical analysis indicates these substances cause extreme gastrointestinal distress in humans. This bottle contained Rizzo's Spectrum vodka.
To the lobby we go!
I will be back. Hello everyone, I'm back.
Timeline is...
I didn't mean to do that.
Have you seen the profit of profitability of late?
No, I'm afraid I haven't. Why do you ask?
I was looking forward to attending her seminar. The ins and outs of office doors.
Got it. Heads down.
Oh, that's the last of him.
I can't believe Miss Helen's gone. Feels like it's going against the laws of nature somehow. I used to watch Helen serials. She'd fall into mortal peril every couple episodes, but she always lived in the end. Breathtaking. Have you looked over the edge of the complex yet? Just watch the clouds turning? It's like an ocean without end. Eridanos and Olympus are the two biggest planets in Halcyon. King and Queen of the Sky. Looking out to the horizon, I get this feeling that we're in the company of royalty. Eridanos is 100 times the mass of Terra 2, 800 times the volume, 10 times the diameter. We're flying through the tiniest layer of habitable atmosphere. Sometimes I can't believe how small my world used to be. My horizons were about as wide as the walls of Edgewater. I'm glad you landed in the Vale, even if you did land right on top of Captain Hawthorne. You know what? I'm spoiling the moment. Let's get back to it.
I don't think we ever respected a gate in this colony.
Oh, hey there, stranger. Don't mean to interrupt your business, but have you seen a stray mechanical wandering about? Seems I'm running my mouth too much. My mechanical Betty up and wandered away a couple days back. I've been trying to track her, but the beasts make it hard. Personally, I prefer my organs inside my body. The shopkeep says I should buy one of his rifles and go looking myself. But like my machine, I'm not combat inclined.
We can help her out, right? Won't take too long if we're on the job.
I know it's a pain, but I think I need some outside help. Job or no job, I'm not leaving Betty out in the wastes. Hey, thanks so much. It would have been mighty lonely without her. Being unemployed, I mean. Be lonely being unemployed. If you find Betty, try sneaking up and hacking her. If you can't do that, finding a way to stop her current routines should send her back home.
Sorry, but we're a little busy right now. I'm sure one of the other guys would be happy to give you a tour.
Lawrence, do you know who you're talking to? We always have time for the inspector.
The inspector? That's you? Oh, Law, it's all over. I told you someone would catch on sooner or later, Belle.
Lawrence, let me do the talking here. Inspector, pay him no mind. I'm sure you've bigger Saltuna to can than us.
Normally, yes, but we take guests out on live-action wilderness experiences for additional pay. You know, shoot a raft here, walk there. We're just between tours right now. Buying? We're not selling anything. Especially since we're between tours.
Don't pay him any mind, Inspector. His upper story's a little gap-toothed, if you know what I mean. But seeing as you insist on sticking your... That is, since you're so curious,
I'll fill you in on what we're doing. We, misplaced some people on our last tour. Misplaced them in the maws of some local predators. Now we're stuck here wondering how to get their room keys. Might have been Raptidons. I find it hard to tell them apart, especially when my glasses get fogged up.
So when you say lost, you mean left behind, so you could make a clean getaway.
You make it sound like we did this on purpose. If we had, we'd have been smart enough to get their room keys back first. Hey, we all got our priorities. Not worrying about those keys ain't gonna bring their owners back from the dead. Anyway, the sooner we get those keys back, the sooner we can make it look like the ex-guests checked out early.
Wouldn't you? I mean, the dangers were all listed in fine print on the waivers they signed. Least they can do is not destroy our we knew soon.
You kidding? You're welcome to.
Our bosses would want this situation resolved, just like us. We're the real victims here. The dead can't suffer anymore, but we can, and we will if we have to pay for all these lost keys. Did I just hear that right?
We're not out of the woods yet. We last saw the guests.
Commander, you ever wonder why they put lights on our armor?
No, Trooper.
What about these tubes poking out everywhere?
No. Trooper, stop asking stupid questions.
Sorry, Commander.
Happy customers are repeat customers.
Here they come!
One down.
Hey, I almost can't believe it. Betty found her way back. Here I was thinking I'd never see her again. Oh, Betty, you big goof. What were you thinking in that little metal noggin of yours? You nearly worried me to death. And ain't you just the most reliable freelancer in the colony? Let me just take a look at Betty here and we'll talk about payment. Yep, that's right. Her parameters for movement and target acquisition are a mess. I'll bring her back to the garage and get her sorted out. Since Betty's back safe and sound, I'll be sure to let my coworkers know that you're a good one. Here's... Oh, I won't be turning my back on Betty again, believe me. Thanks again for all your help. You really saved us both from the edge.
I suppose you'll be moving on.
I'll be out of here as soon as I can, Gus.
Hunter. Sakes alive, people these days have no respect for a corporate name change. Welcome to Hunter Legal's Legal Hunter Supplies. I am Hunter Legal. Hunter Supplies.
There's a killer on the loose, Inspector. Step lively.
going. Heading back.
So these hullheads sit around in circles and try to invite profit into their life? I hope they get eaten by rats.
By concentrating on profit, I can invite wealth into my life.
She said I must burn away the old me in order to be transformed. I can feel myself burning already. The prophet says to purge the mind of truth, that her truth is the only truth. Facts serve no purpose in the pursuit of profit. I'm going to absolutely murder the next quarterly report.
The prophet of profit. Ability has changed my life. Her seminars are worth...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis suggests this to be a variety of herbs. Herbs have been uniformly treated with a pungent chemical mix. Warning: ingesting, smoking, or... Side effects from extended exposure include dizziness, nausea, and unconsciousness. Additional likelihood of organ shutdown and/or death. Hypothesizing potential side effects from herb consumption. Most likely outcome: decapitation. Slight possibility of calculation error. Prior analysis suggests these herbs reach peak effectiveness when used. Whether or not this increased effectiveness is good for an...
Fruitful and productive. I offer a wide variety of productivity seminars. I hope you'll consider taking one. But I should remember my manners. To what do I owe the pleasure of the Special Inspector's arrival? We indoctrinate people in the back. Oh, wait. That was a jibe, wasn't it? With that said, I'd love to involve you in one of my productivity seminars. We should clear you of all those nasty, nasty humors hampering your potential. Absolutely not. Any statements by Ms. Helen about us were blown out of proportion and altered by the media. In fact, she quite recently... excuse me. I seem to be remembering something that never happened. Whatever the case, I'm sure her speech about us was all a misunderstanding. We offer a wide variety of seminars for all your corporate needs. Employees not working hard enough? Employees dying too often? It's most likely your managerial humors. And of course, seminars for balancing the energies of your business offices. Interior decorating is much more important for success than many would believe. If any of this sounds at all interesting to you, might I interest you in the first 82 words of our most popular seminar's introduction? Free of charge. Byzantines live lives fraught with competition, and that competition can be immensely stressful. You must, first of all, find a way to balance your thinking. Think not of bits lost, but of those you have yet to gain. After all, peace leads to productivity, and productivity leads to profit. Though thought alone won't balance you. We have a strict regimen to promote humor clearing. Session attendees stand on burning coals, sit for hours in our productivity smokehouse, and of course, fast throughout. Miserable? I'm sorry, sister, but we don't typically allow the use of words like that in the retreat space. We prefer experiencing deferred happiness. Oh? I'm surprised. I wouldn't think the two of us would have much to discuss about her. We may have had some terse interactions before her death, which I most certainly regret. But beyond those, well, never mind. What would you care to know? I wouldn't necessarily say that. The media tends to exaggerate. I will admit that her remarks about my seminars were rather unfortunate. However, I certainly wouldn't sharpen any sabers over it, if that's what you mean to imply. I only do that when my clients skimp on their bills. I did not. She had no interest in my seminars, and I had no interest in attempting to convert a stubborn actress. Why would I have had any cause to engage with her further? Well, I suppose that does complicate things. Whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision because she never showed up. I don't see how it matters. I'm pleased that you noticed. Excellent eye, sister. The compound they're treated with is my own invention, designed to unlock an individual's true productive potential when burned. I can't say any more. Trade secrets, you know. None of my clients have... Yes, that's correct. She made it clear that my seminars were of no interest. Well, I suppose, whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision.
Hello, welcome to the Prophet of... Least, that's what I keep telling myself. Anyway, I'm Aaliyah Mason. I work as the If you felt imbalanced... Oh my. Yes, the circumstances... I'm actually not entirely... Which... Certainly. Of course, I've been studying under her for years. Actually, before you go, I noticed the Prophet's dragging something, a bundle, away from the retreat after that high-profile guest arrived. Normally, I'm the one who does her laundry, so it was strange. Especially because whatever she was dragging seemed oddly... human-shaped. I could have, but I generally don't have the time or the...
Who said that? I'll be sure to give them a special seminar on not needlessly implicating the person who puts food on their table. It was a bundle of clothing, sister. Even productivity geniuses need to do laundry from time to time. Perhaps it wasn't clothes, after all. I had a visitor, yes, but as it turned out,
Timeline discrepancy detected. Scanning. No. No traces of aether dust, blood, or dimethyl sulfoxide found. Judging by footprint depressions and shoe size, these prints were either made by the Prophet of Profitability or Adjutant Sophia Akande. Error. Recalibrating. These footprints were made by the Prophet of Profitability. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Scanning for other details. Only additional signs of disturbance are a few marks in the dirt. No sign of struggle or... Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
welcome. Oh, really? Clever work, Inspector. It seems even I can't slide my way out of the trap you've so intricately weaved. I admit it. I killed Helen. By mistake. Helen changed her mind and wanted to attend one of my sessions. So when it came time, I chose to double Helen's dosage of... After that, I entered a less than coherent... Laws, no. I hate guns. If I ever wanted to kill someone on purpose, I would have used a blunt weapon. Nothing quite like club... What? Is this some kind of joke? You're an inspector. It's your job to arrest me, isn't it? I don't believe you. I think this is all a trick. You're trying to catch me in a lie. Get me to reveal my productivity secrets. No. Someone must have moved it after I killed her. One of my business ri- No. You can't trick me. I finally discovered what's happening. You've been paid off. Someone else learned that I killed Helen and is going to use that information to blackmail me. You think I'm going to let this injustice happen? Ha! Tell the constable that I killed Helen. It's 1,000 times less miserable than whatever my enemies have planned. You monster! What am I supposed to do now? They'll be here soon. And once they arrive, I'll be powerless. Powerless! I just want to go to prison!
You! Stop that! I suppose I can look away this time.
You gotta show me how you did that. Jackasses!
To make
That's
you
the last of them.
smile.
That was quick.
Did the Prophet of Profitability murder Halcyon Helen? That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with... yeah, she probably did it. She's already a huckster and a fraud.
Prophet of Profitability? That's a funny name.
Inspector. Ms. Leva earned that title, but not for the reasons you'd expect. The profit business. So, tell me. Ms. Leva's techniques have no basis in modern science, but she makes bits hand over fist. Does the Prophet strike you as a reasonable candidate? I'll bear that in mind. Thank you for the update, Inspector. Oh, and let me give you some advice. Look.
So this is what a clean room smells like.
Birdie was dating Helen at the time of her death. Could the hot-headed hacker be a cold-blooded killer? A ruined picnic at the Purpleberry Orchards. A tossball stick snapped in half. Were they arguing? Did Birdie lose control of his temper? Who could have killed Halcyon Helen? What was their motive? Spencer Woolrich, the supporting actor to the colony's leading woman. Was Halcyon Helen's old rival responsible for sending her into early retirement? A standard record of a special request made by hotel guests. Included in this list, a curious request for a terror ray gland on behalf of Mr. Spencer Woolrich. The request was fulfilled. Burbage 3000. The most sophisticated acting automechanical since Burbage 3000. If an automechanical can lack sentience, can they truly be guilty of murder? Or is Burbage 3001 merely an accessory? Repurposed weaponry is a common feature in the colony's automechanicals. As an acting automechanical, Burbage 3001's equipment may frequently be upgraded or replaced to suit its roles. You learned that Burbage 3001's most recent upgrade was performed by Spencer Woolrich. Jasmine Leva, the prophet of profitability. Her seminars on wealth, prosperity, and the alignment of one's humors attract wealthy Byzantines to Eridanos. Does the heart of a vicious killer lurk beneath her spiritual veneer? What prevents you from unlocking your true potential? Natural talent, mental faculties, crippling anxiety? No, says Jasmine Leyva. Your humors must be realigned with the profitable... Fine, fuck you. The prophet of profitability deploys a curious bouquet of herbs in her therapy sessions. These herbs run the gamut from the bizarre to the exotic. They all share one quality: their side effects on the highly unpleasant and potentially fatal side. The mascot for the Rizzo's Ranger Tossball team. He was in your room, searching through Helen's belongings. Did Black Hole Birdie really send him? Why was he so terrified? Something is rotten on Eridanos. With every step of your investigation, you come closer to the truth. After Helen's murder, authorities placed a lockdown on all incoming and departing spacecraft. You are so far... You, as far as you know, the only exception. Jasmine Leyva, the prophet of profitability, holds a retreat in the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve, not far from the hotel. Wealthy patrons are encouraged to enjoy the hotel's amenities when they're not busy purging themselves of harmful, unprofitable humors gathering inside their anatomy. The Purpleberry orchards are responsible for growing and cultivating the Rizzo's proprietary purpleberry, an essential ingredient in the majority of my nuts. The Rizzo's RR&DD lab, formerly operated by Dr. Leora Blossom. Helen's trail led you to the RR&DD lab, but when you arrived, something had driven its lab technicians to a violent frenzy. There's a killer on the loose in Eridanos. Ruth Bellamy, universally known by her role as Halcyon Helen, Princess of Periodicals and Duchess of Dramaturgy. Helen was killed in the Grand Colonial Ballroom. Dr. Leora Blossom, head of research at the RR&DD labs located in the Purpleberry Orchards. Dr. Blossom's lab was under attack by her own technicians. During the chaos, an unknown assailant murdered her. You listened to her final moments over an intercom. Loose ends, critical clues, or red Saltuna. This is an exact replica of the Needler Helen's signature weapon. You discover traces of chemicals in Helen's upturned luggage. Someone removed the Needler from her belongings. Spectrum Brown, Rizzo's newest flavor of Spectrum brought vodka, or a disaster waiting to happen. At the bottom of each bottle lies the corpse of a parasitic life form, guaranteed to enhance flavor and improve your mood. There's a murder on Eridanos, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
Incoming!
Don't you go!
Inspector, good to see you. Let me just grant you access. Welcome to the Piraeus spaceport.
I don't...
Hey, you! We've been looking for you, and by we, I mean been real busy sniffing around Eridanos for clues.
What's Sluglight? You think he means slug or sublight?
Should have kept your nose where it belonged, Inspector. Slug's sick of all your meddling in their affairs. Our affairs, I mean. We're... Well, you ain't gonna stick that... Quick,
Heads up, boss!
That's the last of them!
Greetings. Non-criminally as Bureau please. All requests for security. Error. Bit processing unit delivering forget you. Greetings, criminal. This unit would implore you to confess to your crime of landing with an expired permit. Please.
An aberration in the expected timeline for this organic being has occurred. Behold, the body of Maria Keene, formerly the constable of the Eridanos Atmospheric Complex. No signs of life detected. Maria Keene is survived by no known relatives. Excellent observation, Inspector. Multiple wounds located in the frontal bone and between the clavicles suggest she was facing away from her attacker. Furthermore, the location and circumference of exit wounds suggest a firearm with unconventional ammunition. These casings are too minuscule for conventional small-caliber firearms. Each casing resembles a lancing needle used for medical and surgical purposes. Yes, Inspector. These wounds and ammunition. This unit's records show that the needler was likely to high concentration of potassium chloride. These substances show the highest concentration near the entry and exit. Cardiac arrest rather than your memo. Banter protocol activated.
I don't know what to make of Slug Underground. Or Slug, I guess. I can't shake the feeling they had something to do with Ms. Helen's death.
Appointment? Yeah. Not entirely out of the... Inspector, you said? Well, maybe he'll appreciate your blunt charms. Maybe not. Mr. Kincannon, got an inspector here demanding to see you. Want me to call the guards?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Ah, Inspector. Eileen is my right-hand woman and the finest assistant to ever grace this office. She is also tremendously skilled in causing physical harm. I recommend you do not insult her with any further attempts at intimidation. Now then, here for my alibi, I assume?
I shall return. back.
Another murder? Drunk Raptidons? Black Hole Birdie practicing his hacking in the middle of the street? Stop me if it's one of those, or I'll just keep guessing. Sounds as though you've already sorted it out yourself. Slug uniforms do seem to go missing from the hotel laundry with impressive regularity. Easy enough for someone to nick a few. Now ask yourself this. Why would anyone give thugs slug gear and send them after you? Right again, Inspector. But I can't fathom who would benefit from tarnishing my reputation like that. Can you? You said it, not me. So, as you've deduced, I did not send anyone from Slug after you, nor is it likely they assigned themselves that task. Still, I am sorry for the trouble, Inspector. With that settled, I assume you'll want to know where I was the night of Helen's murder. Torturing Elliot Nasser for information on missing cargo. That was a messy one. Didn't break until nearly noon the next day. Can you imagine? An excellent question. I had his body dropped off the edge of the land complex. I'm not sure what happened to it from there, scientifically speaking. Maybe it dissolved? Ultimately, though, it doesn't matter. You'd be a fool to believe me, regardless of what I told you. People lie, and I am, incriminatingly, people. Which, as I said, you should not trust. If it helps, however, you might consider pursuing not my means, but my motive. Why in the name of the architect would I kill Halcyon Helen? She was making me a fortune. I'm considering a line of commemorative merchandise. Still, that's nothing compared to what Helen would have made us in the long run. I'd offer to assist you in your work, but I've a mystery of my own to solve, I'm afraid. Oh, Elliot stole from me, all right. Alas, you're right in that his was a singular isolated incident, and as such, does not resolve a concerning broader trend. Items are disappearing from Slug's storage and processing warehouse. The thefts began a week before Helen's unfortunate death, and there have been more instances since. Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter. Nothing unsavory, and nothing Ludovico shouldn't know about, if that's your concern. I'm quite serious when I say Slug is a legitimate business. As to the specifics, I'm not sure. The warehouse foreman should be able to tell you. Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter. I'm not sure. I'm only confident there is one. That the thefts began mere days before Helen's untimely demise is an extraordinary coincidence. I'm not a man who believes in happenstance and Has it? I wonder. How much of your luck has been luck, and how much are you downplaying as chance? Regardless, this will be fun. You out in the field, chase. Really, Inspector, no need to flatter me. I assure you, you're already very much in my good graces. You'll want to speak with Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman. I've cleared her as a suspect myself, but should she... No, I'm joking. If she won't cooperate, tell me, and I will shoot her. And do feel free to search my office for clues while you're here.
Timeline discrepancy. This copy of TK contains 142 fewer pages than a standard copy. The missing pages were likely removed to create...
You figured that out just by looking at it? Huh. We ought to talk shop one of these.
Inspector, please consider speaking... You can talk, discrepancy amplifier. You do it. Transmission analysis complete. While the precise location of the receiver could not be pinpointed, it has been narrowed down to a smaller, analysis in the area within a 0.5-meter radius of the book possesses a dust. That is highly likely.
What's that you found? No, wait, don't tell me. Let's save it for the big reveal once you've solved the case.
Neo SNC
Timeline
site.
discrepancy detected nearby. A cursory fingerprint analysis shows this. The fingerprints belong. Confirmed. The grip has been modified for a specific wielder. Additionally, the plasma rifle sights appear to have been realigned to better accommodate a shooter with slight myopia.
Oh, admiring my rifle. Had it custom fitted by a woman on Monarch.
I don't like the look of that shopkeep.
Hello. Welcome to Aridano's Dry Goods and Sundry, the most standard and unremarkable general store this side of Halcyon. I'm marketeer Joseph Dempsey, here to make your shop... Oh, I see you've read some of my poems. Very clever, Inspector. Yes, my pen name is The Marketeer, though I also use it in certain... Wait a moment. Hey now, hey, let's all be reasonable here. I'm just a middleman. Occasionally, jobs requiring discretion arrive here from the hotel. Always anonymous and always lucrative. For a sizable cut, somebody sent me a note telling me they wanted you dead. I don't... Yeah, of course. It's called a paper... Give me a little credit. Of course. Here. Welcome back. The Aridano...
think I prefer the rest and go.
Hey, I saw your ship. Hey there. Word around the spaceport. I see. Well, this would have been easier with Hawthorne, but I hope that if you're flying his ship, it means you're a freelancer too. Wonder if you can help me. I run an outfit for the moving of, less than legal goods. There's a particular piece of cargo needs delivering to a particular individual in the spaceport. Thing is, I don't know where the cargo is right now. The crewmate who handles that is in the clink for getting... We've already attracted too much attention. Too risky to visit her myself. That's where you come in. You help us out, I'll give you an equal cut of our pay. Great to hear. First, you need to go meet the crewmate who got herself jailed. Be seeing ya. Remember...
Don't think I know you. Yeah. Don't think I don't recognize the slug agent. Sakes alive! I warned him time and time again to take the proper precautions. It's a good thing he's a damn fine pilot, or he'd be too much trouble to carry around. Then again, I'm in prison and he's not, so I guess I'm the lead weight this time. What's the plan, anyway? You're looking for cargo from our ship, the Rat King. Small package, wrapped in brown paper. It got moved to the shipping yard, but I'm not completely sure where.
This port seems real busy. I wonder if they're trying to compete with the Groundbreaker.
What? What the?
Here they
Check
come!
it out.
Don't mess with me! Let them have it! One down!
This port seems real busy. I wonder if they're trying to compete with the Groundbreaker.
Staying out of sight.
Thought I heard something. Better take a gander.
Here they come!
What's this? Ah, you like that? It's all in the wrist.
You got that.
You're back, I see. Hope the law hasn't caught on to what you're doing. Law meaning authorities, that is, not the forces running the universe. No complications?
Welcome back. The Eridanos Dry Goods and Sundry is just a shipment, you say? The only shipment I'm expecting is 100 pounds of saltuna a week from now. And I certainly don't expect... I learn about secret codes in my off time, for fun. An independent, huh? Be a big risk letting you into my sanctum. Though if you're telling the truth, I think it... Follow me to... All right. So, as you can see, this actually ain't the most standard and unremarkable general store this side of Halcyon. Welcome to my black market. Whatever you're here for, weapons, information, contraband, cane and ointment, I've got it. Sorry for the frosty reception. Had to make sure you weren't with the constable. But seeing how you're a freelancer, I hope I ain't got nothing to worry about. Good. A worthy freelancer is hard to find. Since you're in the know, you can access my black market stocks. Though, you'll have to come by later. I'm waiting on my next shipment. Here's your pay. Good doing business with you, especially seeing how you didn't take this to the constable. Would have been a mighty pain in my tail end.
Hope the job's coming along well. No sign of the constable, which really makes me more nervous. Excellent. Let's divvy up the payment 3 ways and we can consider this matter settled. What? That ain't gonna be enough to get Cass out of prison, and it ain't what we agreed to. Ah, shit. Looks like it was wrong to assume you were just like Hawthorne after all. Sure hope I can figure something out to pay Cass's fine.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Transmission endpoint discovered. The receiver in this book matches the transmitter to the listening device found in Cedric's office. It's somewhat grime-covered. Based on the accumulated mix of sludge and detritus, the receiver has been present since approximately a week before Helen's death. Due to the high level of
Hi there. Sorry, this area is off limits to port vision. Oh, wait half a second. You're the inspector. Sorry about that. I'll buzz you right in.
Hey, you think they keep any spare parts down here? Just wondering. Nicely done.
timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Try another weapon! Nobody messes with you, boss! You gotta get past that armor! Everyone all right?
Inspector. Ooh, I love this part. The big reveal. So tell me, what happened? What makes you say that? Damn, you're good. Hacking the Automex. So that was our... But why? So, our culprit had something specific they wished to acquire, and used the random theft as a smokescreen. I must say, Inspector, you've done excellent work on this case. Then that just leaves how the culprit knew where their true target would be. Okay, that's very impressive. Don't ever touch me again. Am I right to think what you found in my office earlier was the other half of this listening device? Not quite, Inspector. I lent it to Halcyon Helen to... That, or she never intended it to stop. Impossible to know now. Unbelievable. I helped her. Gave her whatever... This is a betrayal, Inspector. I do not take betrayal lightly. Helen should consider herself very lucky indeed that she is already among the dead. Yes, I suppose we have. There is, however, a slight chronological incongruency to it. I now have... If I'd known Helen was stealing from me, I may... Again, I appreciate your... I wish you luck with your investigation, though I... Now, if you'll excuse me, I must find a way to excise my anger.
Now that was fun!
Oh, look here. I could use a new pair of glasses.
Can't imagine where you misplaced your old set.
Timeline discrepancy detected near. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Discrepancy detected.
You'll be moving on then. Hunter Sup. Welcome back.
Okay, guys, thank you for watching this stream. I'm gonna end it right here before I talk to Black Hole Birdie, and I'll be back probably tomorrow with the last part of Fallout in Space. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for the 2 comment bots. Check out neosync.site and vom.red. Don't actually, I hate them. Bye.